Prime Minister Narendra Modi is currently discussing the COVID-19 situation in the country with chief ministers of all states via video conferencing. India Today has got some exclusive inside scoop on the meet. Sources have told India Today that Prime Minister Modi has sought suggestions by chief ministers over lockdown implementation, containment status and possible strategy after 3rd of May. 9 chief ministers are expected to speak at the meet. In fact, they're currently right now having a chat with Prime Minister Modi, discussing various issues. As per sources, the chief ministers will brief Prime Minister Modi on the ground reality and even suggest whether the lockdown should be lifted phase-wise. Prime Minister Modi has also sought a lockdown impact report from each of these ministers, chief ministers. He has also sought reports from coronavirus strategy groups led by the Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and Health Minister Harshvardhan. This is the 4th such meetings taking place ever since the lockdown was imposed in March. Kerala Chief Minister has kept this meeting, saying that it was not mandatory for all states to attend. Kerala Chief Secretary is representing the state in the meeting, saying that they were told this meeting was focused around northeastern states. Let's quickly go over to Rahul Srivastava joining us. Rahul, the meeting is currently underway. 9 chief ministers are currently indulging with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. They are currently discussing, we believe, on the situation on ground. What's the ground reality in respective states? And depending on the severity of the situation, they will decide to lift the lockdown in a staggered manner. But yet a decision has not been made. This is just a discussion over which Prime Minister will then eventually decide. Kerala Chief Minister has, however, skipped this meeting, saying that this meeting is focused around northeastern states.
Nabila, no, the Chief Minister of Kerala has not skipped the meeting. As I have been saying since morning, that in this meeting, the Prime Minister is supposed to take presentations, or 9 Chief Ministers are supposed to speak. Earlier in the 2 meetings, the Kerala Chief Minister was among those who was invited to speak up during the video conference. And that is why the State Chief Minister is not personally attending the meeting. Instead, the meeting is being attended by a senior official of the state. See, this meeting is comparatively, compared to the first lockdown, second lockdown, a very different one. The ground realities have definitely changed. There is a bit of a ray of hope as far as the curve of spread of coronavirus is concerned, and nobody wants to give up that advantage. And many of the states have created their own social distancing protocols, which are tougher, weaker, and they have created more restrictions in terms of movement. Say, for example, because Noida, UP felt that a lot of infections in Noida came from Delhi, so the borders with Delhi have been sealed, and only extremely essential services people are being allowed to move between the state borders. Similarly, Tamil Nadu has, we have reported that created a wall on a highway leading to Andhra Pradesh. These are largely state-level initiatives being taken. The Prime Minister in this meeting will listen to the inputs provided by Northeast states. Remember, one very interesting element about this is that Northeastern states, despite having a not so very robust kind of a health infrastructure, these states haven't had very serious repercussions as far as the COVID-19 spread is concerned. What we have heard from ground reports by our own bureaus is that in these states, the lockdown efficacy has been extremely high. So can these other states learn from states like those in the Northeast and others? That is why, since all these states are having their unique experiences as far as the spread is concerned, they are creating their own kind of solutions to battle the crisis, and they have different kind of availability of health infrastructure. The eventual way out of lockdown 2.0 may not be very uniform. It may be having great amount of flexibility as far as different states are concerned. The Prime Minister is going to share reports. The Prime Minister is going to look at the ICMR reports and the projections. As we know that ICMR and others are already saying that by 16th, there might be a clear indication whether there is a flattening. And I think that's why the Prime Minister may make a decision closer to the end of the deadline of May 3rd, as far as the lockdown.
Right, Rahul, as of now, we understand that lockdown norms are quite stringent. Respective states, despite imposing a lockdown, many of them are seen violating it. We have some big information coming in now that Home Minister Amit Shah is also present at the meet. Amit Shah in the meet has also said to the chief ministers of respective states that they must take stringent action against the lockdown violators. Home Minister Amit Shah now to chief ministers of respective states that those who are violating the lockdown must be penalized, reprimanded. Amit Shah saying that chief ministers must ensure a strict lockdown, and those who violate it, action must be taken against them. This is Home Minister Amit Shah, who is also part of the meeting here, and we understand that he is given out strict orders to impose stringent lockdown regulations, and those violating it will be reprimanded. Rahul, back to you. Amit Shah there also in the meeting, giving his mind that lockdown norms must not be violated until the lockdown is imposed in respective states. They have to abide by it. Those who are violating it will be penalized. And this is a situation that we've seen across states. People coming out trying to access, they've got to move about. This is their daily life. It's unprecedented for a lockdown in India. Never have people been confined to this period. And we are seeing several violators. Amit Shah being very strict with a warning there.
You see, what Amit Shah is reading the right act. It is the Home Minister of the country whose ministry had announced a lot of restrictions easing and guidelines for beginning April 20th. The idea was to set certain amount of economic and other activities start rolling so that the economy and the social life can recover from here on. But yes, there are several complaints from states that lockdown is not being imposed in those states, or certain areas people are not adhering. And that is why Home Minister, who is part of this meeting, along with Mr. Rajnath Singh, the Defence Minister, who coincidentally heads the groups of ministers in the government, which has been recommending a lot of these guidelines which have actually come from the stable of this group of ministers headed by Rajnath Singh. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman is also there, because remember, in this meeting, there will be an attempt by the Chief Minister to present their side of the story, that how the lockdown has created a huge degree of economic distress.
Right.
And Nirmala Sitharaman eventually has been working with the Prime Minister on a fiscal relief package.
Absolutely. Rahul, do stay with us. We understand this meeting is still underway. 9 chief ministers part of this meet. How to bring the economy back on track and ensure lives are saved at the same time. We're going to hear an announcement hopefully in some time from now.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.